We are live back at it at Reec Talkcast, live from Media Campus West. Got a very special guest in the building. She does so many things, but today we're just going to talk about probably 500 of those things, okay? We have Dr. Bonita in the building.
Hello. I am excited to be here, and I just love you. I love everything you're doing in the community, and I just wish there were more out there like you that's just taking the commitment and taking it, making sure that they're doing what they need to do like you are and your family. I'm just in awe and amazed about what you're doing.
Thank you. Now you're going to have me over here, somebody cutting onions, I'm blushing and stuff, trying to do an interview on you and give you all your flowers. You do so much, too. You're welcome. You're welcome. You do so much for the community. You have a radio show. You have your podcast. You have a couple of programs that help people from getting evicted. You have programs that help people from getting put out of their homes. You have programs that help with domestic violence. You're a survivor yourself. You have
I am.
A background of people that are connected to you. Have a spider web of people who have dealt with abuse or violence.
That's right.
Some type of form of abuse, and you've helped them. You've helped yourself. Now you're helping all of these people get through these situations.
Exactly.
You have a program that helps pets too. So this woman knows no bounds when it comes to her philanthropy. She's an author. She is a radio host, and you got to put that DR before her name, Dr. Bonita.
You have to. Thank you. Thanks for my props.
You are welcome.
Well, I'm just in awe of you and everything you're doing, but my name is Dr. Bonita Bond, and I am President and CEO of Sisters United Everywhere. And that's an organization, Reec, that assists women, not like a sorority, because you don't have to have a college degree to belong. You just have to have a commitment to God and our ancestors that you will bring back that village that we once had, where the entire community is supposed to manage every single child in that community.
Right.
And for some reason, Reec, we have lost that. And what Sisters United Everywhere is dedicated on doing, first is the commitment to faith, then family and friends, where we step out on faith, where we can help each other. We all fall short, but there's something that each one of us bring to the table where we can all help each other out. And this old adage where each one reach one, each one, teach one.
Yes.
I love that so much, because when I was growing up, that's what they did in the community. When you did something wrong, Reec, anybody in the neighborhood could tattle or tell on you, or even spank your rump and get you back in focus.
Get you back straightened up.
Now, Reec, if you say anything out of the ordinary to someone's child, they show up 2, 3 deep with all their cousins, and these are people you really don't want to have to deal with, because all their cousins are in jail, so they don't mind, and they have their probation officer and attorneys on speed dial. So my thing is, let's get back to the old neighborhoods, to where I can help your child do better and feel better about themselves. And right now in the U.S., we have the largest population of single parent homes. So what that means, Reec, is there are larger prison rate, incarceration rate, black on black crimes. Yes, there are a lot of reasons why we have an issue, quote unquote, with the white man. But let's take the white man out of this today. We're talking about what we can do for each other, where we can stand on each other's shoulders and do the right thing in our community for our children. And again, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that something's wrong. The system is broken, but the family also, the family unit is broken.
Right.
And then, Reec, how do we get back to making sure that each one reach one, each one teach one? How do we do that? It starts with us, right?
Yes.
It starts, like Michael Jackson used to say, that man in the mirror. It starts with you. So each one of us have to make a commitment and an oath, not only to God, but to our ancestors, to do the right thing, to help bring this community back where it once was, where we could be proud of our brothers and our sisters, where we could speak life and faith and hope and encouragement to each other, where we could breathe that life again in our little young generation. Because right now, this Gen Z, this Gen X, there's an issue. And how do we resolve that? we resolve that by one family at a time, one community at a time, one county at a time, one state at a time, block by block by block, Reece.
I love that. And did we add that she's a motivational speaker and life coach? Well, you just found out why. Just did.
Of course. Well, you know what, Reece? I am a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, and so is our Supreme Court Justice and our Vice President. But also, you don't have to be in a sorority or a fraternity to know what the right thing is, and also to do the right thing. So my hope, my prayer, and my request is try to bring one person. You don't have to have 100 people. You don't have to have 50 people. If you just help one other person every month, you are determined to just help that one other person.
Right.
And Reece, I can't tell you the calls that I get from single parents that are just lost. I mean, lost in the wilderness. And I'll give you an example. This one woman called. She has 4 children in high school, and she was called down by the police because they said one or more of her boys was involved in a shooting incident. She brought all them down to the police department, and later on it was found out that none of them were involved, but because they made statements that were false to the police, they were all arrested. So my comment to this parent was, why would you bring your boys, your little black boys, down to the police department? Make them get a warrant for them. Don't volunteer our black boys and our black girls to be put in the system.
Right.
So now she is in a situation where she has to have attorneys to get them out of jail when all she had to do was not bring them down.
Right.
And you do like the Europeans are doing, the white families are doing. Don't go until you're prepared, meaning you have an attorney, there's an arrest warrant out, and you can turn them in. Right. But not just for them to do a fact-finding mission on your child. So knowledge is power, Reece.
Sometimes you may say the wrong thing and incriminate yourself and end up in jail for no reason. So I know what you mean. But that goes back to why on one of your websites you got that gavel and mallet on there, you know, because you're going to help spread the word about the right things to do when it comes down to law and just encouraging people.
That's right. And I'm not an attorney, Reece, and I don't even play one on television, but we do have a paralegal firm where we donate time and energy and effort into our community. So you'll know the right things to do and to not do, and you'll know when you need to hire an attorney or even legal aid to kind of assist you with some things that you're doing. So there's a lot of things that we'd like to share with Sisters United Everywhere, where we go into the churches and the different communities, Reece, and make sure they understand and know their rights. And Reece, I had a lady the other day tell me that she was in eviction court and they made her sign something saying she would be out in 7 days.
Wow.
And she had nowhere to go.
And that it's legal to do it if she signs it, but she shouldn't have been encouraged to do so.
Exactly. And Reece, so when she said they made her, I said, okay, did they have a knife or a gun? And so her response was, are you trying to be funny? I said, no, because can't nobody make you do anything. You're an adult, you're over 18, you're not on drugs, you're not drinking, so how can anybody make you do anything? So what that was telling me, Reece, is that she was intimidated because of the system.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because now if you have a family and you're willing to say you're getting ready to get out in 7 days and you have nowhere to go, and Reece, even if you had money, trying to move now with a truck, renting a truck, finding movers, finding a place to store your goods, finding a sofa or someone to sleep or a hotel, that still takes time. So what I'm saying, Reece, is Sisters United Everywhere is helping you not be afraid of the system, because we're going to build up your knowledge about what to do, what to say, when to say it, and when to keep your mouth shut. And one of the prominent attorneys used to tell me all the time, you get caught when your mouth's open. That's how fish get caught. So you keep your mouth shut. And Dwight Thomas was his name, and he is just an amazing attorney in Atlanta, Georgia. But he used to say that all the time, that more of us need to just keep our mouths shut, make sure we understand what's going on, and make sure that we say, look, I don't have an attorney right right now. So when I do get one, I'll contact you and let you know what's going on. That way you have the time, Reece, to surround yourself with the knowledge, because knowledge is power. And I'm finding in a lot of our communities, we are lacking that knowledge.
Yep, absolutely. Right now we're Dr. Bonnie Bonita, if you will. Bonds. How you get 3 B names? That's just incredible. You got the movie star name.
I know. Oh, my mom did that. She did that, Reece.
I love it. Let's move a little bit further into what you were just saying, because you say you have the paralegal firm. You have this organization where people are basically compiling resources for other people's benefit.
Exactly.
I've heard you on the phone. I haven't known you that long, but I've heard you on the phone coaching people through evictions, helping people at least get some time to make an informed decision.
Exactly.
What got you into those doors? What made you want to walk into those paths?
Well, you know what, Reece? I have my bachelor's, master's, and my doctorate degree, but I remember when I was with one of my attorney friends here in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and he had some cases that he did not want to deal with for a lot of different reasons. And he said, well, can you just help me out on a couple of cases, because you are well read and you also write very well. I said, okay, what kind of cases? And it ended up being a couple of foreclosure cases where the actual victims were actually being put out and they were not behind. The mortgage company had made a mistake, and I was able to get the foreclosure. I stopped the foreclosure, work with the attorney for the mortgage company, and I said, you know what, if I could do this and volunteer my time to help these people, I want to do that, because sometimes, Reece, it's not about money. Yes, it takes money to survive and money to live, but with what we do, basically, we just try to give back to the community. And I know that a lot of times expertise and knowledge, our community really don't have it. And we don't have the wherewithal where we're paying attorneys annually just to represent us, just in case we get in trouble. We normally don't find an attorney until it's too late.
Right.
So sometimes, Reece, knowledge is power. We need to read up, and I employ everybody. When you have a situation at hand, read up, do a Google search. How do I do this about that? What do I need to do? And then don't take advice from one person, Reece. Take advice from 2, 3, or 4 different people. That way you have a combined, educated decision on how do you move the needle forward.
That's it. And for you to have personal strife that you've had, that you make public, and still have the energy and efficiency to do what you're doing, we just got to hit this hype bell for you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you so much.
Those
Thank you.
that may not know your story, your mom, your brother, your niece, all killed from domestic violence.
Murdered.
Separate
incidences.
Sheesh.
Yeah. It's just amazing, Reece. Let me tell you what I find out, that a lot of times they used to say hurt people. No, hurt people don't hurt people. They murder people, right? So there's a mental health issue going on in our communities. So for you to say that you're willing to kill someone that you've once loved, that speaks volume within itself. So what I tell each and every person is, if you build your own self up and your self-esteem, when you're in the middle of losing a loved one with a lost relationship, so you don't grieve and decide that I don't want to live and I don't want that other person to live because there's nothing else here for me. Let's work on just building yourself up so you'll never feel like that about anybody else. And I have a statement for the young women out there who think it's cute when a man say that they can't live without them and they can't do without them, and that's not cute. And when I was 16 and 17, I thought that was so sweet and so admirable, and I just wanted to be in a relationship with someone like that. Reece, that is so wrong on so many levels. You don't ever want to be in a situation where a boy or a man or a woman tell you that they can't live without you, because they might just make that happen.
Yeah,
that's right.
That
Reece.
is. Those are some of those things. We hear Hot Topics now talking about red flags and stuff like that.
Right. That's right.
Man, it's so key to pay attention with people when they talk. Yeah.
That's right. Yep. And also, Reece, for these mothers out there with these little black boys, pay attention to them and what they're doing and the people in the company that they're keeping. Go in their rooms from time to time. Go on their phones from time to time, because there's a lot of things things are going on sometimes that you don't even understand, right? And they might be getting bullied. There's a lot of things going on that they won't share. They won't openly share with you, right? So you might have to be your own private investigator, because I hear a lot of parents say, I didn't know my son was going through this. I didn't know my daughter was going through this. And okay, so we're working. We have church, we have school, we have sororities, we have fraternities, we have co-workers, we have all these things going on around us. But guess what? Our children are number one. We have to pay attention to the signs, right? Why is my kid not sleeping? Why is he not eating? Why is he on the computer all the time? Why is he depressed? Why is he lonely? Why is he anxious? Yep. We have to spot the red signs within our own family. And yes, everybody want to know what's going on with the sorority, what's going on with the entertainers. Guess what? Your family comes first. So put down the TikTok for a second, put down the YouTube for a second, and make sure your house is in order before you start all your own personal extracurricular activities.
That means to make sure that you take care of your house before you move into other people's, even if they are socially. Right. I definitely understand that. Now, you are a very well-versed and well-traveled woman. Obviously, you're doing so many great things, helping other people, but you're also doing some great things in the business side, too, and in the media side. Let's talk about this radio show I had the privilege to be a part of.
Well, thank you.
And being a guest on your show. How did that get started? And let's talk about like what people get a feel of when they listen to your show.
Okay, so on WIGO, I host a show. It's a 1 hour long show, Thursdays from 10:30 to 11:30. And basically we talk about family, faith, friends, and we talk about also, Reec, how to get out of the rut, how to survive, and how to make sure that you are what you need to be for your family. And again, faith has a lot to do with it, and I always go back, Reec, to Sue, Sisters United Everywhere, because guess what? We need to have faith, we need to have family, and we need to have friends, because it takes a village. So we go over a lot of different things, especially right now, Reec, with the black on black crime, the teenagers. And guess what, Reec? I don't understand how a mom don't know where her 14 or 15-year-old on a Saturday night or Saturday early morning at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. How is that possible? So how are you not checking on your children? And maybe, Reec, it goes back to these single parent households where there's only a female, and a female cannot raise a male child. They can't. We can't do it, Reec. As much as we want to do it, we can't do it because God made us different, Reec, right?
Yes. So and vice versa. You need both. You need both to get one whole. And
then if for some reason you've chosen a situation where the male is no longer in the house, then what about the uncles? What about the granddads? What about the neighbors who are doing the right thing, the positive things? We got to get our little black boys and brown boys back to making sure that they have a whole life, not a half a life, that they have a whole life. And if a two-parent family is not possible, then what about mentors? 100 Black Men has a mentoring program where males are coming to home and help as well, Reec. We have to get back to that village.
Absolutely. We're loving that, and spreading that word across mass media definitely helps, because you never know who needed to hear that. And then they can go back and say, you know what, let me go help my nephew out. Let me go help my grandson out, or however that is. Let me step up. So we appreciate you just pushing people forward to step up all the way across the board.
Reec, block by block, family by family. We have to. We don't have a choice. We have to bring back that village.
Right. Now you are building these villages. You are helping other people's villages. And then you're helping people stay inside their homes in the villages. But you're also helping these pets out. Talk to me about your pet rescue.
Oh, my God. So my husband told me if I bring one more pet home, he was moving out. So
look, hold on. He's over there shaking his head like, I said it.
Well, you know what? My mom, Reec, bless her soul, and like you said, she was murdered by my stepfather when I was 20, but she used to love animals. She would bring dogs and cats home, and she used to be that little old lady at the bottom of the hill that had fed all the stray cats. And Reec, I gotta tell you this funny story. One of my girlfriends says, I saw you on the internet. Someone says this little old lady is feeding about 100 cats. And I looked it up, and it was you. And I said, said, well, who put me on the internet saying I was feeding stray cats? And she says, wait a minute. It's your daughter Taylor. She's broadcasting you on the internet. So, Reec, I love animals. I love so much because they didn't choose the life that they have. They didn't choose to be abandoned. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think that we should all, again, try to help as many animals as we can with the spay and neuter programs. Yes. There's a lot of different aspects and a lot of different organizations where we can give, even if you can drop off cat food, dog food, bird feed, anything to help animals. I love animals so much. I think that it's just godly and godliness to just be willing to help out all of God's creatures.
Absolutely. You do a great job of it. I ended up with 3 bunnies from you from this program, so we appreciate you.
Yes, you actually have Lola, Peanut, and you also have Hazel, and they are loving it in their little motel you provided for them.
Yeah, so we're having fun with some of the bunnies from your pet rescue. How can people support any of the things you're doing? Give them those websites.
Yes, thank you, Reec. Thank you so much. So you can go to BonnieBonitaWorldwide.com. That's Bonnie, BONNIE, BONITA, worldwide.com, BonnieBonitaWorldwide.com. Or you can also call me on my personal cell at 404-246-3600. That's 404-246-3600. But BonnieBonitaWorldwide.com tells you everything that I do. And also, if you'd like to volunteer with Sisters United Everywhere, we'd love to have you. And again, if you have a church or community that needs our help, just give us a call. We're only a phone call away. We'd like to come in, volunteer some services to just help you and your community get to where they need to be. It takes a village, and Sisters United Everywhere is willing to do that.
Well, you are a superwoman in her own right. We appreciate you coming by today and rapping with us. We want to say thank you because you guys made a donation to Positive American Youth for our Kicks and Cocktails event. So we want to say we appreciate you.
Well, that's just the first of many donations. We are going to do so much with you because we love you. We love what you're doing in the community. And to see another black man just taking on the fight, just taking themselves to the fight, and the challenges and everything that you do and the people that you've touched is just amazing. I pray for you. I pray for your family. I just pray that God continue to keep you and bless you. And oh my God, you are just an amazing person.
Thank you. Amen. I was about to be over here with my eyes closed, but I got to remember I got to watch the camera. Thank you guys for watching. This has been amazing. Please visit her website at BonnieBonitaWorldwide.com. We've posted it in our live chat as well. If you guys are streaming, you can see it on YouTube and Facebook. If you're on the radio side, it's right in the description of this post right here on our live broadcast. We appreciate you once again for coming by.
Thank you, Reec.
We're going to get back to love you guys too. Thank you. We're going to get back to this music, and we're going to make sure Frank is happy over there in case you bring home some more animals. All right. All right, guys. DJ OS is on deck, about to play some good music for y'all. So keep it locked in right here on the Reec Radio side, Reec Talkcast side. We are live till next week. We appreciate y'all.